Hello, my Girl Scouts. Welcome to Daisy's Coding for Good. We're going to be working on Badge 2 today, which is digital game design. And before I get too far into this game design bit, I just want to say that one of the pieces of this badge is going to ask you to do a little digital game design yourself, or a little bit of block coding, so the type of thing that would bring you through a maze or some type of construction. And I actually have two suggestions on where to get some places to work on this, and of course this is something that you're going to work on your time and figure out how to do, and one of which is the free app that's offered by the people who created the book Roxy's Secret Code, which is an amazing book if you're looking for it, and I see now that they'll let you customize it with your own personal little girl. It's created by people who are in the coding, women who are in coding, and they want to inspire young girls to also code with them. And they have this wonderful little application that they let you build a bot and then do some coding puzzles. And then the next one is Lightbot Hour, which is a great little program that does the same thing. It gives you a little bot, and this one has a little bit more directionality. It lets you do some spinning and some changing of height in your coding, so this one's kind of fun. And for anybody in my troop, 50363, this is the one that we played with when we worked on robotics coding. So if you are in my troop, you are familiar with that program. Please make sure that you have added that application if you wanted it. So without further ado, we're going to be looking at digital game design. And one of these is things like playing video games. It is fun, but it also helps to learn new things or make the world a better place. Programmers use algorithms and sequencing to make games for computers. Once they design a game, they test it and look for ways to make it even better and explore the world of digital game design. They design your own maze games. And so this is basically a way for you to do it. So I just wanted to let you know that there are two different applications that you can use to do maze games, basically. All right, so we're going to start talking about Badge 2. So step 1, explore the tools used to design or develop digital games. All computers need directions or algorithms to follow. When a game is played on a computer, it's called a digital or video game. When you design a digital game, you decide what kind of challenges the players face. You also decide what the character in the game can do. Then you write code for the computer to run the game. Learn how a maze game works and write an algorithm to move the character through a maze. So from board to screen. Sometimes your favorite board games get made into video games. And so things like you can have board to game complicated games like chess, where you can play and move pieces on your board, or you can have very simple games like the two that I suggested, which have little applications to do a simple maze in your game set. So here we go. Planning a maze game. So in the badge itself, it asks you if you would like to plan a maze game, to write an algorithm code to be able to move through. And I have set up on the left-hand side of mine a little maze board myself, where I made the black kind of walls that are in the way, and I made my yellow dot my start and my red X my final destination. And I have a little place that I'd like to start, so I'm going to start writing. I'm going to say each one of these squares is maybe a distance of 1 inch, so I'm going to program it to move each one. And so I'm going to build my code. So I would tell my little bot to go forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to tell it to move forward 6. So I'm going to do this, forward 6 spaces. Then I'm going to tell it to rotate. So I'm going to tell it to turn. And I'm going to tell it to turn to the left-hand side. So I'm going to do a rotation of 1. So I'm going to tell it to rotate. So now it's facing this way, right? So now it's changed its facing direction. And now I'm going to tell it to move forward, because the rotation didn't move it forward. I'm going to tell it to go 1, 2, 3 spaces. So forward, 3 spaces. And then I'm going to tell it to rotate again, and I've run out of space, so I'm sorry, I'm going to write it over here. And this time I'm going to tell it to rotate to the right. So I'm going to say rotation to the right once. So it's going to rotate rightward once, which is going to face it this way. And then I'm going to tell it to go forward 1, 2, 3 spaces, and I'll get to my destination. So this is basically how I would code in a walking through my maze. And as I mentioned before, there's lots of different programs that let you do it, and I gave you 2 suggestions. So at the end of this video, please take the time to find an application that you would like to practice and play this sort of game and work on it. Because the second step to the Girl Scout badge is plan a maze game and play a maze game. Finally, the third part is to build, test, and improve your maze game. And this is something that you can do right within those applications. Or if you want to be low tech, you can build some very fun maze games where you can write out the cards and basically do what we did on this sheet. And you can write out forward cards and rotation cards and build little fake mazes on the floor and see if you can program some toy to move through the fake mazes. So there's lots of ways that you can achieve working on this second badge set. But the real key is understanding how to put in a block code, so this sort of thing, to tell whatever it is that needs to move to get through some type of structure. So to get from your start point to your end point. And also, if you notice on the side here, I did put in the Roxy's secret code. This is Roxy's secret code over here. And I did write in the Roxy's secret code over here, just kind of like the Build the Robot selection section. So this over here is the Build the Robot selection section. And this is the intro to show you how to code, where it shows you like a number of spaces and asks you to put in the move. And this is the intro, and then there's the game part, which actually lets you attempt to play the game and do it. So you can go through the introduction that teaches you how to do it, and then go through the actual game part. And also, I can't say enough good things, the storybook itself is really great too. So finally, building blocks. If you've played in Minecraft, which a lot of you guys have, I'm sure, you know that it's fun to build cities and castles out of blocks. But what if you could design your neighborhood using a video game? Some people asked the same question, and they knew that they were towns that wanted to create parks and meeting places, but they needed help. So Mojan, the creator of Minecraft, teamed up with Microsoft and the Union Habitat to meet the computer program called Block by Block. All kind of people, including kids, use the program to make computer modules of what they want their town to look like. They asked park community centers and marketplaces. Once the models were done, everyone voted for a computer module they liked best, and the town put a plan into action. And so this is kind of a fun little story about something that happened and building a computer program that then led to real-world application in building something that everybody would enjoy in their community. But I also would like to tell you that Block by Block is something else that you can play with a little bit, but it is not a maze program. It's a builder's program. So on that note, when you get done watching the video, please take some time to work on doing some maze programming, whether it be the low-tech worksheets or the really fun applications. And as always, please share what might be inspiring you as you work on this. And you can always share it to our Facebook page, which is our Troop 50363, because I'd love to see what you girls are working on. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Bye!